There are essentially two ways of viewing this, which we'll discuss. But it's undeniably a fact that there has never been in the history of this country a political figure who, along with their allies and with their supporters, has faced a greater level of persecution at virtually every conceivable level. It's just never happened before. It's never been more syndicated. It's never been more relentless, and it's never been more vicious. Like, this is just a fact, but people want to be like, oh, well, what about this guy? This guy got full-on assassinated. Like, okay, thank you. I hadn't considered that. Very measured, very insightful contribution. Thank you for that. But the point is that you cannot point to another example in American history where this level of persecution has been ordered against a political figure, let alone a former president. And people who don't like Trump will say, well, it's because he broke the law and he was mean. It's like, okay, an alleged error in filing documents according to the National Archives. So what, he like pissed off the top librarian in the nation? Yeah, lock him in a cell, throw away the key. This is just one of the sobering realities of politics, which has always been the case. And people know this, but they don't actively think about it and trace its implications, and that's that there is no such thing as a nation of laws. The people who pull the strings are always going to reward and make exceptions for themselves and for their friends, and they are always going to persecute their enemies. And we don't have time to get into the actual criminal syndicates in this country. We certainly don't have time to point out all of the hypocrisy. But if your actual argument is that this level of persecution against Trump is warranted because he didn't handle documents correctly, he incited a riot, and as a billionaire Manhattan businessman, he maybe got a little creative with his taxes, you're just not a serious person. Like, just say you hate Trump because you think he's mean. There would actually be more dignity in that. But you don't have to lie. Because if you asked any person in the street about insider trading that goes on in DC, about the corruption, about the exploitation of children, the warmongering, the trafficking, the planned demolition of our country, most people would agree. But most people are also sheep, and therefore they won't extrapolate and ask themselves, why is it that none of those people are ever being treated the way that Trump is being treated? Are we really supposed to believe that we've like designed a system where all of the best and most virtuous and most noble people have occupied the highest levels of power? What you come to realize if you're an honest person is that everybody has baggage, everybody has dirt. There are literally people whose job it is to like find all these things out about you, to do opposition research and find out what you've got buried in your closet. And so